Welcome to Austin, Texas, home of media production from the years of 1992 to 1999. Then they made The Faculty, and it was all over.
You said 91 to 99, didn't you?
I said 90. I think 92. What was 91? Desperado, right?
No, Desperado was 95. Slacker was...
That was Slacker.
91, exactly.
Oh.
It's a Richard Linklater movie.
Well, a lot's changed.
Since we recorded?
Right. You flew to LA. We recorded way too many things.
Yeah.
And then we put a book out, lived through, try to figure out what it's like to edit a lot of stuff at once and put a book out at the same time and deal with all the weird headaches that come with that. But now we're here, past all that.
Yeah.
After Halloween, before Thanksgiving.
Live from my compound.
This isn't live.
Live from Austin, Texas.
You've moved since then. I've moved from a plane here to visit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I owe you.
No, not at all.
No. I mean, I wanted to do this last, like, we didn't do an epilogue in the book.
No.
But I wanted to do an epilogue for all the insanity of recording all those videos and just like, hey, this was new for us, publishing a book and just talking about the adventure we've had since publishing over 120,000 words.
It's only been a week, too, since this...
But it feels like so much longer.
I know. For everyone.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know, being able to watch it get released, and I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that came with this, a whole re-emerging and everything else, and there's been a lot of good, I don't know, just been a lot of support.
Less negativity than I thought. That my brother just sent me a photo and said he bought it.
Yeah.
So there's some support there.
Grandma's reading it.
That's about it for my extended family that at least has acknowledged me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uncle's still not calling.
I really hope that cease and desist comes from him, though.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
When we recorded all the logs, which I think we'll start to release at some point as just individual podcasts, like as the book comes out, as just like put it out for the world, and just like, I don't know if the experiment of the QR code thing worked super well. But then again, if you remember the movie Moneyball, it didn't get the Oakland A's to the World Series, but it worked for the Boston Red Sox a year or two later.
I like cheating at baseball as the...
They didn't cheat. They got on base.
Or whatever. Whatever it is.
They got Chris Pratt.
Isn't that the one with the credit default swaps?
Same director, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Same idea. And then it also has half the cast of Wolf of Wall Street.
That's where I get confused. I'm like, that's a penny stock movie. Okay.
I think we'll take... The QR code thing, it was a neat experiment. It was also like a last minute addition. It was like we never thought about doing that, but I know someone's going to steal the idea.
Oh, absolutely.
And we should be the ones to produce it for them.
Yeah. And there's no way to copyright that idea or anything like that. Which there really shouldn't be. It should be whoever does it better than us.
I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be petty. There's a dog underneath.
Riggs found the squeaky again? No. Where'd you get this?
I don't know.
I hid this from you. All right, it's going to go in my crotch now.
That's a good idea. So when we finished recording all those videos and that whole 5-day marathon, we still hadn't begun the publishing process yet.
No.
And that was new to both you and I.
Yeah, it was... I mean, you basically have to, you realize, oh shit, there was a missing space here, or there's a whatever, and it's 126,000 words of proofing, and then each time, up until the day that the book released, we were checking and getting proofs of new drafts. Like, I've got all these books that say not for resale on my dining table. It's like stacks of them from just being like, does it look good now? Does it look good now?
Yeah, we ran into this whole issue with the print version where the text was like choppy. It was low resolution for some reason.
Yeah, it looked digital in a weird way.
Yeah, and we gave it to a few people for feedback, and they're like, they missed some of the typos that somehow made it into the final version. Amazon came through at the last minute and said, hey, I don't think these are real words. I'm like, you're stupid, Amazon. I know. Oh, that is a typo.
That's
crap.
Not right.
That's not good. So still a work in progress, but
some people are going to get versions that have different typos in it.
He-Man's in there.
Yeah, He-Man for some reason. It should be...
It was probably The Man.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting exercise because I learned about EPUBs That's the digital version that you put out that you would think is just universal. You put out, goes to everyone. No. Apple says you cannot just give us normal EPUB, even though I got it to work on a multitude of devices. It won't work for their store. So you have to go through their program using Apple Pages, format it for that, and then kick it out, and then get rejected again.
And we originally had a guy from Pakistan that I hired on Fiverr named Squab.
Yeah.
That's not his actual name, but I don't want to butcher his name, so it's easier to just call him Squab because that's
Squab.
Closest to, I think, what his name is.
Yeah.
And he sent us a bunch of stuff that looked really good and we didn't realize didn't work on anything. So,
The first problem was probably drafting the whole thing in Google Docs and then not realizing because the EPUB format is HTML. So when you look at the code of it, when you're going through it, it's all body, A reference, this, and I'm getting just flashbacks of the old Machinima website not working and being like looking at the code and going, what's an iframe?
No.
I don't know. This is bad. But realizing weird things got carried over from Google Docs. Like every time we copy and paste a registered trademark, I guess I was the only one copy and pasting because I didn't know the
I'd be like, is it done yet?
Yeah.
Is it finished?
So there's just all these weird broken things inside of there. And then the paperback version having its own problems and having to essentially edit 3 documents at the same time and trying to send out to figure out like basically Googling how to self-publish as I type with 2 fingers. It was a journey.
What are the interesting things we want? What are the hard-hitting pieces of this?
No one buys books from Barnes & Noble.
Yeah. People barely buy books.
If you publish a book through iTunes or iBooks or whatever it used to be called, I think it's just called Apple Books now, their back end is still from 1999 when they're like, if you download the millionth iTunes song, you could win music for life. I'm like, this is weird. It's just this old OS 10 interface. So like, it's been really interesting going into the back end of what all these people see. Also with podcasts, getting it on multiple platforms is really interesting. We use Buzzsprout, which is super helpful, but easy to get on Spotify. Easiest thing in the world. Pandora and iHeartRadio will not accept us.
2 people, they're like, oh, I can't get a hold of it on iHeart, whatever.
Google Podcasts and iTunes, a little difficult, but worth the headache. But did not realize the headache we were in for. There was a company, I won't name them. We were talking to them and they were like, they're like, we could help you get this thing out. $2,000, please. And we're like, we're going to use that towards
and
proofs.
you realize that there's a whole industry that just kind of preying is not the right word, but they prey on authors that, it gives the people the hope of like, oh, well, you can get your book way out there and, do all this stuff. And it's really them just taking it. And I'm sure they have some internal marketing thing that they do where they're like, look where it's getting views. People are searching for it, but they're not buying it or whatever.
See graph go up.
And then also those companies take a huge portion of like, say on Amazon, you make $5 a hard copy or something like that. That company takes off of the Amazon top end to where like you'll get $1 per copy or something like that. And so there's a whole industry that's based around like, oh yeah, you're be an author? Well, we can help you with that. We've got the whole infrastructure, and really it took us another couple weeks of figuring things out, and then we just did the same thing as one of those companies would do. Yeah,
you can essentially Google anything on how to do it. It takes, work and effort and trying to juggle a couple jobs. And I think at one point you had 3 and then, and you're like, I got rid of a few for this book. So
I had to quit 2 of my jobs for this book to
Thank you. You're a hero.
Out. Yeah, I know.
You're a hero.
It's nice to hear you say it.
Well, the other part too, not that there's no illusion this book will make us money. We knew going into this is like, this might be a cost loss, but we still want something to go to charity. And if some 3rd party, 4th party, 5th party company is in the way taking their cut, it's just getting in the way of doing any good. So I didn't want the extra middleman. So
when we calculated it out, we ran the numbers today from the sales so far, and we're going to be able to, for this first check to Shatterproof, it's going to be what, $543 or something like that?
Something close to that, yeah. And the other way money works with this, we have to wait 60 days. Most of the money's coming from Amazon. That's been a bulk of the sales. That takes 60 days from, I think, the day you publish. So most of the money's sitting there. We're waiting for that to clear. We'll make an announcement, do something just to prove, yes, we are not just grifting money from a, and I don't know how often. I guess every quarter we'll try.
That'll probably be fine.
I want to give as soon as possible, just to be like, hey, we did this. But then, yeah, basically check in every quarter, and like I want to keep that transparency going. Of, hey, when you support the book, we give to charity. That's our promise. We'll just keep doing it. And that's also, I didn't realize this. We originally said, yeah, book sales, and then you're like, yeah, everything in the store, and I was like, I didn't know we agreed to that, but yeah, cool,
yeah,
fine by me, yeah. I don't.
The one sweatshirt and the
2 shirts I think have been bought.
All right.
Yeah, most of them by me.
Yeah.
But no, I did not get into this to make money at all.
No, and it's been funny, like friends and people and stuff going like, a book, and we're like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's like it's the start of like doing what we want to do. As opposed to like just doing things to drive views or whatever the case is. It sounds, I mean, it's silly, but it feels good for the soul. I don't know.
I got in, you and I were in different industries, similar industry, different sides of it, same industry, different sides. Mine was more of the treadmill, which was always like, all right, we got to this number. Well, what's next? Well, we get to the next number. And you're like, what's after that? Another number.
More number.
Yeah. And I feel like I've been redoing my life for the past year of kind of taking things at a much slower pace. And I'm in no rush with what we're doing. We're still trying to kind of figure out what is the next step? What are we doing? But what I don't want to do is go like, we have to hit some metric, we have to hit some huge number. And so there's that part of me still where I don't know the exact number. We've sold like 2,000 copies of the book or whatever. That's huge. There's that part of me that's like, yeah, but it's not 1 million. You didn't.
I know. I try and get myself out of that too. Like I'm like,
you didn't break world records. And like, yeah, but 2,000 people bought it, and at least 10 of them are probably going to read it.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And like, how can we make this sustainable for 2 people as opposed to, well, we got to hire more people and we need interns. Like, no. Like, let's keep this thing very chill and not overdo it. I still want to make worthwhile content that's not just quickly digestible. And I think that's kind of like what you're talking about when you're like, why'd you write a book? And like, it's different. And at the end of the day, the story is told. It doesn't have to be made into a movie or a visual medium. I do want to do an audiobook.
Yeah.
We still don't know the logistics of that.
Yeah, we have to figure that out. I mean, that's, to do it right. I mean, and not just make it like something worthwhile to someone to buy or get or whatever. It's like not just throw it together.
It's a tough thing. We talked about it where if someone writes an autobiography, you want them to read it. But then I guess because we're trying to be more of a transformative, synergistic multimedia
I think those are the words. Yeah.
Can you just put me down after I leave this all hands? So like, do people want us to read it, or do we have the stamina to read it that long? We talked about potentially doing like a live stream where we read the whole thing, and that could be something. But does it make more sense to hire a professional who could do it so that we have time to breathe so we can do other things? I don't know. Talked about maybe doing a Kickstarter for it so that we don't burn all the money, whatever's left in the bank account, on a voice actor. I don't know. And then it's like, what if the voice actor's not very good and we already paid him or her?
It may be a thing where maybe we do just read it. I don't know. I mean,
maybe
we're putting down our reading abilities too much, but it's also when you and I talk about the book, we know the voices pretty well of what but yeah, I don't know. I
don't know how people do it without blowing their voices out, but that's the thing that kind of scares me. I'm like, I can maybe get through a page a day. Maybe. I
mean, I know the people I know who record books for people. I mean, it's 5 days, and that just someone comes in and just, it's just how they do it. Yeah. Like when Zach recorded his book, I mean, it was long. I mean, it took it was a marathon that
Yeah.
he.
It's tough though. You're right, because like I hear those voices in my head, and I know what Cal sounds like, and I have an idea of what Name sounds like, and Etta and Raphael. Like, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be heartbreaking if we give it to somebody and then they do it and they go, well, that's way off. That's
$3,000, please.
yeah.
All right.
There
That's
you go.
the rest of it.
Yeah. So I want to make it financially viable so we don't burn money on something, and then I do want to get it out in a timely manner, but
I know there's lots of people who want to experience the book, but they either, maybe it's hard for them to read because there's a disability or something, or they just, the only time they get to have a book is when they're in a commute or something. And, there's all of those circumstances where I'm like, yeah, I want you to be able to experience it. So
the idea with it going paperback and digital too at the same time was like, give it to as many people as possible. And they go, yeah, but what about the audiobook? Fuck.
yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I want to do it as a radio play or something
I know you
weird.
said, I was like,
It's just sound effects of whooshes, and it's going to sound terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me in a Foley studio with a cucumber hitting a mallet. We just, as of today, we were just on a podcast with the official podcast crew. They've been nothing but supportive. So
Yeah.
I hope there's a little bit of a boost from that. But the Today Show is not calling us back.
Bill Maher, he didn't call.
No.
There's no one of any importance.
It'll be longer to go down the list of people who didn't call or are not interested.
We'll just have it scroll by.
Yeah. I know Amazon reviews help, word of mouth helps, and I don't know. I have no illusions that this book is going to be the next big thing or whatever, but I like that the people who like it have been very vocal about it.
Yeah.
So that's my only hope is that the people who do like it can at least tell a friend or leave a review or whatever. Or if you don't like it, tell us why you didn't like it, or tell us if you found the hidden typo.
Did you find all the Easter eggs that are throughout? Did you win the Thunderdome or what? I don't know.
The only Easter egg I think is in the paperback version of Log 8 is the QR code is chopped up into 3 pieces.
Yeah.
And if you combine it and you find that video, you'll be in for a disappointment.
You're in for a long treat.
Yes. It took less time to edit that video than it did to watch it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Which someone will see and waste their life on watching.
Yeah, we don't really have a content slate or anything. I enjoy doing these. I enjoy talking. It is sort of not heartbreaking. There's some really good portions in the logs that we did, the recordings, where we start out pretty low, and then it's also because we haven't done anything on camera for a long time, and it's like getting back into that groove. By log 11, when we're talking about Whitesnake and whatever movie we watched that week, I was like, oh yeah, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
This is fun. I like doing these. I want to find a way where we could do this sort of stuff where it isn't just us being like, did you see this news? I think there's enough podcasts that do that, and I have nothing to add in that part of society.
Plus, you end up doing that. It's like you were saying earlier today, because I was mentioning this, like, what do we record now? There's it ends up becoming, you just end up not wanting to talk to the people anymore, and it just becomes another like slog. And
well, the whole thing too, where you're like, well, hold on, save that conversation for the podcast. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to become that again.
Yeah, I know. It's not to knock it. I mean, there's plenty of people that do it, but I don't want to do that anymore.
I want there to be purpose behind anything we create. I don't want this to be this isn't a Fortune 500 company. This isn't something, like, I want to just do something that's purposeful. We create stuff that potentially helps in some way. I know you tease it at the end of the book, at the very last thing you talk about, but you have another book you want to work on.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do something, but I don't know. Do you want to talk about your Untitled Penis Adventure? Or I don't know. It's a ways off, I'm sure, but...
Well, I mean, I started outlining it before we started working on Rook. And then a couple times during lulls in writing Rook, I was working on it. And now I can actually work and write on it.
Yeah.
They're coming!
It's a Chinook.
Yeah. Welcome to the Outdoor Podcast.
That's fine.
It's perfect.
This is better. They look like Hueys.
They might be.
Yeah.
True attack helicopters.
If you just heard a gun spooling up, just keep,
dirt coming up
keep
around
cool.
us.
I did see. I was driving in LA not too long ago, and I did see a VTOL.
Yeah.
I was like, they are real.
Yeah, they've been real forever.
I didn't just dream it and see it in Call of Duty.
No. I mean, technically a Harrier jet is a VTOL.
Right. But the ones I dreamed of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been messing with those since the 40s or 50s, I
don't
think.
get out much.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that second book as we speak. What's funny is originally, there was a time where I wanted to make that into a script. And then, it was something that I never pitched to the other companies I was working at because I wanted it for mine. And then eventually I was like, why would I want to write this as a script? Because it's going to depend on it being made for it to be a story. And
right.
I've hit on this before with some of our talks, but it's like, I want to have something that actually exists on my terms, and you want the same thing. It's like something that exists on your terms that doesn't have to go through some process, or doesn't have to be in a development hell forever. It's like, fuck it.
Yeah, to not be dependent on an overlord who goes yay or nay. And
which there's always that.
Yeah,
but
it comes to with the caveat that it's like, well, yeah, less people will probably see it or read it, and like, yeah, but at least I got to put out what I wanted to put out, and I didn't have to really make any sort of concessions. There were
sound
some,
like these indie filmmakers or something. It's like, I made the short film I wanted to make, and it's like, all right, go away.
I with Rook, at the very least, I can look at it and go, that's what I wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was going to look like when we started it, but when it's done, we can look at it and go, I know at the end we're like, if for anyone who hasn't got to the end, you're like, it's a little scary, but it also got me excited about maybe we could do another one. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing that right now is daunting, but we've been texting each other and talking. We're like, shit, with the metaverse happening and all that, we're like, oh my God, where could this go? Like my mind does race sometimes of like, oh, wouldn't this world look cool if this and this, and like, what does this look like? What is the narrative structure? And they're like, settle down. Aaron's got another book to write. Go do something else.
That one may go quicker, and then
Yeah.
My plan is to write this book but also work on. We're going to work on our other stuff. So
yeah,
that's what I want to do in life. Yeah. So I don't know.
It's the worst elevator pitch ever.
Yeah.
We don't know what we want to do, but we want to do it. Money now.
The thing that I think you already hit on it is making things that actually have purpose and have something to say versus we just have to get in front of a camera every week. Like, I don't want to do that.
No.
Now, we may get in front of a camera every week, for this thing that, we're going to do, but it's not going to be, what are we going to do?
And I want to stay protective of my life.
Right.
I don't want to let anyone in. I don't want my life to be content.
Right.
I think there's a healthier way of processing that, and I have a whole lot of nightmares I have booked up that I want to work on, that I do want to process in some way. Of like, there's a lot of trauma in there that I don't know if those are short stories or something. I don't know what this looks like, but I do want to do a children's book, which seems odd.
Yeah.
Not to get too much into it, but my cat recently went blind, and she's still very able to get around. And I think there's something heroic about that. And I think there is some sort of illustrative component. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to write a story about my cat. Like this will be my testament to her of how much I've had this cat for 13 years. I'd like to memorialize her in some way with like doing like a children's book, but I don't know. That's something I might want to work on.
I just like what's Adam doing these days? He's writing a story about his cat, and they're like, Oh,
Sounds
all
about right.
Yeah. And what institution is he in? Well,
Where's the shed where I can send him
the cabin in the woods
yeah.
that he's
Does he take care packages?
he doesn't own a cat. Yeah.
He never did. His hair is very long now. But no, it's like I at least feel like I'm in a better place now where I could work on something like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to go, 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 go. And it's like I can take weekends and relax and just talk about ideas instead of having to sell every single one of them. Yeah. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm more excited for that future than what it would have looked like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's stuff we want to do with the website. Someone very nicely messaged us and goes, "So this is it, huh?"
Yeah.
I worked hard on this.
This is bad.
It is a hub to sell things and create awareness of book and merch. I don't know what else to do with it. We have talked about potentially releasing some like behind the scenes stuff of early notes and early drafts and stuff like that. No one's bought the first draft yet, so it's still up
And
there.
it was lower down from the original price.
Yeah, we did knock. It is on sale.
Yeah, it's on sale.
It will be the only item that stays on sale for now and forever.
I just love the pictures of it in your trunk with a bottle of whiskey next to it, and it looks like old, I don't know, food containers or something.
They're ribs.
Yeah, ribs.
That was the food I bought before you came over when I did a Costco run, and I was like, apple pie? You're like, yes. And it was about the size of the moon. Pretty damn good though.
And then my copy of the original draft, because there's 2 of them. There's that one that you can see the pictures of, and then mine is I actually found it while I was moving in here. Like it just fell out of a box, just like
That's about right.
And I was like scooping it up and being like,
But yeah, I want to. I guess we'll add a blog or something to the site. We are trying to do more with like, we try to figure out what the email blasts look like. Trying to do something. Thank you for the people who are signing up for the newsletter. I've only done the one, which is a thank you. Here's a free code. Want to do more of that stuff. At the end of the day, it is just you and I. So it's just what do we have the bandwidth for? Yeah, we have a lot of saved notes and mean text messages that I've saved as evidence. It's my evidence folder on Google Drive.
Aaron was saying bad things about my writing, and it's good that you save that stuff.
Yeah, I do want to create like a visual timeline of like here are notes and pictures and I got the mood board and stuff like that of like things to put up, but finding a space for that and just trying to do some sort of regular updates or anything. But yeah, that's really, that's kind of the tough thing, right? Book's out. What do you do? It is bittersweet.
Should we release the logs public? Because right now it's all hidden and everything. Should we release the logs publicly, maybe one a week? Just I was thinking that just because I want to. There is a way to directly sell the ebook on YouTube, but I have to enable monetization. The only way to enable monetization is to get more watch time on the channel. Can't really get watch time without content, but I want it to be a thing where, okay, when you watch this log, there's a link to buy the book, and it does create, but I can't do that yet. So. I mean, ultimately, all we want, it's just people to read and people to be able to see this stuff. And like, you get the same experience if you buy the book and you scan the QR code, like, you don't care whether that video is public or not,
Yeah.
And it's like, and if you want to just watch those videos and they're public and not support the people who made them or whatever, we can't stop you. It's like, that's the, what?
Yeah. Like I said, there's no greed aspect here other than I know that this stuff goes to a worthy cause and can essentially pay for what it costs to put the thing out. We have to keep money coming in to pay for the website, hosting fees, just random stuff like that.
Let's just go through the fees. This will be the fees cast.
Let me get my glasses. Yeah. We do have to pay taxes on this stuff, but yeah, no, I'm not looking at this stuff to be like, this is the backbone of our business. It's like, as long as it can pay for itself, that's all I care about. And it creates awareness, and then people can go, hey, this is an interesting world you built. I'd like to see more from it in some way, shape, or form. And we had all these ideas that we've talked about just like the origin of Carrie and stuff like that. If you don't know what that means, then read the book. I don't know.
Ooh, I like that little tidbit there.
That's where they close the video. We've talked about big ideas.
Yeah.
Just
It's just two butt cheeks that open. We're getting off topic.
the magic of editing is none of that's going to stay
Yeah,
in.
nothing-
Yeah,
that's not
it's a
gonna
great
do.
way for us to get it out through these recordings and all putting out a book and recently doing that podcast. I realize we're really good at getting off topic. If you guys don't know, Billy Zane made a failed superhero trilogy. They only made one. It's called The Phantom. It's a man in his purple underwear, but the entire thing is an allegory for him living. I can hear you looking it up. When we're there to promote a book and all we want to talk about is Death Wish and The Phantom.
Oh, on the official podcast?
Yeah, are we our own worst enemies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're probably getting in our own way
Oh, absolutely.
half the time.
There are people who are way better at self-promoting and staying on topic and being like alluring to the subject matter and stuff, and we're talking about what we watched the night before.
I finished reading all of the Scream trivia, the original Scream, this morning, finally.
Yeah.
I'd started a week ago, and I was like, I should finish that. That's where my brain's at. And that's just the way I am. I want to know more about these movies that came out 35 years ago.
To
30,
our own
30.
detriment.
Content in itself, I have to basically get off the internet.
Yeah.
I have to get away from social media. I have to get away from it because it becomes very hive-mindy. It becomes very, well, you got to make this joke. And then you feel bad if you try to make a joke that's already been made. And I'm just texting you these days and just saying like, here's a funny thing. And I don't get a like. I don't get a retweet. Like my life feels simpler these days that I don't have to engage in that sort of content. And I am in a place where I'm like, yeah, I just kind of want to talk about what I'm interested in right now or not.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to be part of the cultural zeitgeist. That feels bad for me.
Truly, it's not a big transition for you because every reference you've ever made that I've seen has not been relevant at all to the present day.
Thank God someone else knows what Brink is.
Yeah.
I don't want you to watch it. You wouldn't last, but I am here for another day. Night is young.
I can tell you exactly what we're not going to watch, which is Brink. We're going to watch Death Wish 3.
The best thing we've been doing is watching Grand Designs on Amazon and just speculating that the host lives in a Toyota Tercel.
Yeah.
Just he's enamored by all these homes and knows everything. The Scandinavian design, Kevin McLeod, yeah. The Scandinavian design of this timber is just next level, and he's just putting on the same scarf, and it's just
The
like
camera zooms into him in his Honda hatchback, and he's like, "Are we filming yet?" Splendid.
I don't think there's a way to make that where, like, I don't know, because sketch shows don't work anymore, and I guess you could spend your own money to make this thing, and it would only be funny to us. Mm-hmm. And the joke is that there's a guy who cares way too much about other people's homes and criticizes them, like,
And he's homeless.
he has no leg to stand on. And I'm sinking. I realize. Hold on.
You're sinking in the ground.
Hold on. Okay. Right. Oh, there we go.
I wonder if people can see Riggs just sitting there at my feet.
I don't think so. Do you see how far this is going?
Oh, that's a divot.
Yeah, I feel like Artax in the Neverending Story. Oh, hold on. Nah, it keeps going in the same.
Getting mud all over my chairs.
Yeah. This was a good idea to film out in a meadow.
This is my sacred place.
This is what a yard's like.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You can see it all almost on camera.
I had something. It's gone. It doesn't matter.
Good.
Grand Designs, fantastic show. That's what I've learned being here. It's we come out here to do business. You're like, hey, we should get together and like be productive. The problem is you're a creative, I'm a creative, which is just a really nice way of saying we're lazy. And we're like, yeah, someone else will do it. And then I have to stop and go, I am
someone else.
Crap. So now I'm balancing our checkbook.
Oh, that was fun to watch yesterday.
Yeah, when I don't know what I'm like, this seems about right, this Google template. And
you asked me, how do you type in like an Excel equation, like to add 5 cells? And I was like, oh, it's easy. You just, equals some, maybe, is it a parentheses or is it and like,
And when I found a template, someone else did it for us already, but it's also wrong.
Yeah.
It's
only adding up 5 things.
Yeah.
We just wanted it in cells.
And then we started this thing because we're like, well, we should keep track of what we're spending on the book. And at some point we go, well, what's travel cost? Like, I don't know. I didn't keep track of it, and we're too lazy to look it up. This is not the start of a good business.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Which is the perfect start of a
Exactly.
business.
I'm excited to see where it goes when some go-getter comes in and goes, I'll cook your books. And we're like,
Yeah.
you got it. And then we're just penniless. Like, they took everything.
Yeah, and I'm just remembering old accounting terms from business school. I'm like, is it LIFO or you're FIFO or you're doing on-time account or whatever? They're like, we're deleting everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Gentlemen, imaginary numbers.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's from Enron.
The most important thing is like we have the total, so we know what we actually pay to Shatterproof, which is the only number that we need to be accurate on, which we get because you know how much profit comes in from the book. It's just right there. But then all of our expenses, all that stuff, that's what we don't know.
It's interesting you're rehearsing what you're going to say to the IRS.
Listen, I barely know Adam. Okay. What? There's video? What do you say?
Yeah.
No.
Does it say partner on the LLC form? So many of these places, when they ask, are like, what kind of business are you? And I'm texting them like, Aaron, what kind of business are we? Like, it's an LLC. And I put it in, they go, no, wait, partnership. And I go,
Well, there's different versions of an LLC. Yeah.
I don't. This is all new. It's exciting for me. One day we're going to be coming out to at Null+Void Con, going like, we can't believe we made it, and the feds are waiting for us.
Coming through the exits. Arrest everyone. Arrest those furries.
The dream is over.
Yeah.
We did it. And like, for whatever reason, a Chinese company invested in us. That's all we know.
I just realized what this should be. It should be a cult. That's what it should be.
We could do it. We could.
It's so easy to start a religion.
We just have to be really confident about what we're saying, even though we don't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to get off topic. This is on topic. It's fine. The Heaven's Gate website is still up. It still looks like a GeoCities page.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Wait.
It's still up though.
But Heaven's Gate, I thought they killed themselves in the late 70s.
No, you're thinking no. Heaven's Gate was the Nike shoes. It was.
That was in 78, I thought.
No, it's like 90s, mid 90s.
I want to check on that.
I remember because SNL did a parody commercial of like Nike shoes, and they're like, "Buy Nike," and they're showing all these dead people, and it's like it's in really
With
poor
the Nikes
taste.
and the quarters.
Yeah, quarters on the eyes, I think.
No, they had quarters for the gate, or I don't know what it was.
I
could. Where's my phone? My phone.
Don't look it up. It's fine.
No. But I get what you're saying.
We're excited to announce that today we're starting a cult, and for the low price of everything you have, you can join us.
Also, we need a place to live.
If it's not on U.S. soil, the better it'll be for the rest of us. Well, my chair is sinking into the earth below. I will allow it to take me as I struggle to sit up straight. Aaron, thank you for housing me to be here to record some stuff. I hope we can do more things soon. I know you're coming out to go to SeaWorld or something, so we'll try to do something then. Hold on. Sorry, when I talk bullshit, it gets caught. Yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever this becomes. We're still going to figure it out day by day, and through the power of editing, we'll get something out of this.
I agree. Thank you for coming and allowing us to shoot in the room I gave you at my place.
You did buy an air mattress.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm excited too to see what comes from this as far as the next content we make. The only thing I know is that whatever comes from it will be purposeful. It won't be just content fodder, and that it'll be something that we want to do and love to do. So.
Basis for a cult, essentially.
Yeah, and there'll be everyone gets a pair of Nikes. Don't talk to the ATF.
Don't talk to your family.
Yeah, don't talk to the family.
You have a new name now.
Yeah.
It's an alpha sign.
You're Aaron too. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so happy with how this came out. And it's just something that exists and will continue to exist.
That's the thing I keep forgetting about is that it is a weird thing just to be like, the book is out there. It exists. You can read it. It's not going anywhere unless the world decides they don't want it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, book burnings would be nothing but good for. I hope we end up on someone's hit list of just like, do not read this book. Like, yes, controversy.
That would be amazing.
That'd
If
be great.
there's some place in South Carolina or Mississippi where they ban Rook because of, whatever, a million reasons in the book that they could ban it.
Knowing our luck, it'll just be widely accepted. So it's like, I don't want to read this crap.
Yeah, exactly.
My
It's
mom
on the
likes it.
curriculum,
Yeah.
so they don't even, yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. We're getting rid of Catcher in the Rye. Now we're reading this garbage. Damn it. It's too long.
Yeah. But I mean, either way, I'm proud of it, and I'm happy where we came from with it, and
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to what we do after. So.
Same. Whatever that looks like. And until then, where's the dog?
Riggs.
Riggs. The way you can't see that I am.
You are sinking.
A tremor is eating me right now.
Yep.
Help me, Kevin Bacon and friend.
Kevin Bacon, end this podcast.
I did watch a video. Some guy did a video of like, this is why Tremors is such a smart movie, but he basically just talks about setup and delivery.
The Phantom is real.